box. It's not caused any big waves in boxing, but it was a crazy match to make.
Just, we're looking at Evander Holyfield out there, as you can undoubtedly appreciate, still waiting to go out to the cold desert air. Things very rarely run according to time in boxing circles over in Vegas, and we're still waiting for the walk-on, but as soon as anything happens over there, of course, we'll be rejoining Reg and Jim at ringside. Well, that's Holyfield looking pretty calm there, I think, in the dressing room. Barry, what's your impression of those pictures?
Looking in magnificent condition. Just look at that for body. Absolutely fabulous. Always in tremendous shape. 7-8 pounds heavier than he was last time, and he looks marvellous. But I just wonder how much that extra body weight's going to help him.
I was going to say that. I mean, no one has ever doubted the way he prepares or his professional dedication, but what people have doubted over there at Caesar's Palace, and of course here, is he actually a heavyweight or not?
Well, you know, it's easy to say that he's not a heavyweight. He is a heavyweight. He's been beating heavyweights. I've seen him knock out, I can't think of the guy's name, a big Mexican guy, knock him spark out. He can knock out big guys. He's been fighting with big guys. You know, it doesn't surprise me that he's considered to be a heavyweight. You know, heavyweight goes from above 13 stone 13.
End of story. You know, it's no good. He was a cruiserweight a few years ago. He's a heavyweight today. End of story.
But in terms of the big guys,
but he's a small heavyweight.
Lennox
yeah,
and
sure.
you know, and the Cuban we've seen.
As Mike Tyson was a small heavyweight.
Now, Mike Tyson, the small heavyweight, he is still, of course, on the scene, and people are always wondering about whether he's going to come back. Can he come back? Well, we've got a fascinating interview with Mike Tyson. We're going to show you it in full after the big fight from Las Vegas, but here's just a taster for you.
I just want the truth to be heard. I just want to have this new trial. You know what I mean? I just want this to be heard. I just want to be vindicated. I'm not looking for no money. I'm not looking for anything. I just want to be vindicated. And it's not the fact that Mike Tyson's going to look out and he's going to be, oh, good, quiet boy Mike. I just want the truth because I'm in here in the opposite that I committed a crime. I have not committed a crime.
Well, there we are, Mike Tyson speaking from the jail in Indiana. Would you see him a couple of years' time coming out and fighting again, Lennox?
I think he will, because, you know, when Mike Tyson comes out of jail, a lot of people are going to be bothering him, and he's got the name behind him. So anybody he steps in the ring with, he's just going to create the flow of money. And as far as boxing, he said he's not going to go boxing, but I believe that he's going to be forced to box, because that's the only thing he knows.
It's a very unusual interview that we've got with him, Barry, but he I must admit, he doesn't just finally give me the impression that he's keen to fight again.
He's been systematically broken in jail. That's what they do. They break your spirit. He fought on aggression, and I don't think that he's going to be the same when he comes out.
Just seeing pictures of Riddick Bowe with, well, that boxing phenom Eddie Futch. Where is he? 82 now, training all sorts of world champions. And Riddick Bowe over there in Las Vegas, ready to go. 246 pounds, 17 stone 10, I believe.
And the rest.
And the rest. You think he would be even heavier than... Oh, he would be, wouldn't he? Because he wouldn't be
24
waiting a
hours
couple of
after the
days ago,
weigh-in,
didn't he?
You can be sure.
Yeah, but he's not, you know, he's not going to be drying out or anything like that to make weight, are they? You know, heavyweight seat normally.
5-1 on favourite, Riddick Bowe. And there is the temperature over there, I would imagine. So it's not too bad. It's, I don't know, what was the temperature when you fought? It was 60 degrees over there, I think it was. A bit cooler for you, wasn't it, in Cardiff?
Very cold, very cold.
Again, just going back, I mean, he looms, doesn't he? You know, Mike Tyson, and Barry's talking about his spirit being broken. I mean, I'm not sure I can ever see the same Tyson, the same venomous sort of fighter emerging from his incarceration.
He's a fighting man. That's all he knows. He's got a fighting instinct. That's what he's good at. And he'll come out and he'll fight. He rings. I've been in Don King's office a few times over, you know, the last few months, getting together a couple of fights. We're sorting some fights out, and he rings continuously that office, talking about boxing all the time. He's up to date on all the fighters, all what's going on. He knows the former fighters, and you know, he's a fighting story. Remember, a big fighting buff and a good judge.
The difference being that he's, you know, he's not going to be the same. He wasn't the same when he went in there. He was going off even then. I don't think he's going to be any better when he comes out.
Okay, Frank, Barry, Lennox, thanks for the moment. Over in Las Vegas, it is all about Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. Can the former undisputed champion, there he is, Evander Holyfield, come back and win the World Heavyweight title. Once again, only Patterson and Ali have managed to do that. Or will Riddick Bowe win, as we all expect him to? Let's return to Caesar's Palace and rejoin your big fight commentators, Jim Watt, and first of all, Reg Guthridge.
So then, bring up your ringside seat with us here. It's, well, very nippy indeed, actually. 70 during the day, but it's right down to 48 degrees here at ringside. Hasn't quite generated the atmosphere that it does in the heat here, which of course Barry McGuigan knows all about only too well when he gets up into the 100. So it's better for these fellows, actually, and that's what it's all about. Nickname here then, Holyfield, the real deal. Man who says, well, I really have got my motivation back now. He's one of the best managed fighters of all time. I reckon, well, we think he's grossed around $76 million. What is he doing coming back? Well, this is what he wants to do. And I've got a feeling that he just may give Riddick Bowe a fright as well as a fight. The odds were reduced to 4.5 to 1 against him, but well, one of the bookmakers tipped me off really that they didn't have the weight of money to do that. They thought they'd do it to try and entice punters to come in, that there was money coming for Holyfield, but it's more or less sticking fairly rigidly, I think, with 5 to 1 against him. 16 championship fights this fella's had. He's fought 8 times in Las Vegas. And he's got to push his way through now. He's only really just started to come into the main arena, directed above the part of the tennis court now. No more car park fights at Caesar's Palace. All the cheerleaders, plenty of posers, plenty of cold oldies with medallions around their necks and girls in their arms. It's an unreal place. It's still the town of the outstretched palms. Gentleman fighter in many ways, Evander Holyfield, and well, we talk about him not being that big, but 15 stone 7 is not that bad, is it? Surely, when you think of the heavyweights in previous years, some of them like Bob Cooper, Patterson, 13.5 stone fighters. Change trainers, of course, now from the Dubacan, George Quentin, who's here actually watching this, and he's with Emmanuel Stewart now out of Detroit. So the gentleman from the south, Atlanta, Georgia, very popular man indeed, very honest. Lost only one, of course, and this is the repeat or revenge fight. Going to wrap him up fairly well there, actually, Evander Holyfield. And it's scheduled here, the seating arrangements for 15,819, and from where Jim Martin and I are sitting, we honestly can't see an empty seat. They're standing at the back here, it always generates a great deal of atmosphere, despite the cold. The referee, Little Mills Lane from Reno, from the sheriff's office there it is, and you can see him in the far corner. 15 heavyweight championship fights he's now referee. The famous saying with him, let's get it on. This is backstage. It isn't actually backstage, it's the arena that always handled the fights. Here's the big man himself, Big Daddy. 17 stone 8 pounds. So he's 11 pounds heavier than when they fought last time, but Holyfield's about 12 pounds heavier. And as he said that the fat reduction is less than it was those days, and I'm in good shape. And certainly trainer Eddie Futch there, the 82-year-old wizard of the game, really, says it's been exaggerated, and he's right. He can always get the weight off. He said, I'm a big man, don't be too worried about how much poundage it is, I can carry that. Well, there's all kind of predictions now, Jim, as they're bringing on the IBF and the WBA belt. How do you see it? Do you want to stick your chin out? It's safe to do it on the safe side of the rope anyway.
Well, if you think Holyfield's going to win, you have to ask, how is he going to win? He can't really do it from a distance. Bowe with a longer reach and the better jab. He can't really mix it with Bowe because he doesn't have the strength or the power. So how is he going to beat Riddick Bowe? I don't see how he's going to do it. I think what he's going to do, he's going to put up an excellent show for maybe 5 or 6 rounds, and then things are going to turn against him. It's a real hard battle with Bowe before. He can grit his teeth and carry on, go the full distance and come out with plenty of credit. but it's always more difficult to grit your teeth in a losing battle the second time, because he knows Bowe's not going to tire, it's going to carry on happening, and I think maybe he may tend to lose heart and maybe after about 7 or 8 rounds.
Well, I tell you what, Jim, if it's half as good as the first battle, I would rate that one of the best heavyweight fights that I've seen anyway.
I think it will be a good fight, Reg, especially in the first 6 rounds, because Holyfield, very proud man, he's never really put in a bad performance, he always boxes full of heart. He's going to give it the best shot he's got, but when he finds out the best shot he's got is not good enough, I think then he's going to tend to buckle this time. The last time, as I say, he managed to grit his teeth, force himself on the full 12 rounds, but I'll be surprised if he can do it again.
Tommy Hearns' brother there showing Evander Holyfield what he wants from him, part of the Detroit camp setup. And there's the old gentleman himself, Eddie Fletcher. I remember him when he had Don Jordan as a welterweight champion of the world. He's had so many top fighters through his hands. He's slowing down on the old legs, as he said, but the brain's still working, and he imparts that knowledge into his fighters. Nicknamed Papa Smurf after the cartoon by Bowe. There's still a lot of boy in the man, Bowe, actually. He's quite a character. Good wisecracker, sings a good song, does good impersonations. But he needs, as Ali did, needs Frazier to bring the best out of him. I think probably Holyfield represents that type of fighter. The Rat Man, MC Hammer, actually now starting to be the advisor. There's a rundown. There's 3 knockdown rule in effect, as you probably well know now, that if any man goes down 3 times in the same round, it's already over. He's standing 8 count, meaning that he's got to go down to take a mandatory count. Not the amateurs sometimes, they can call a count from the stand. Whereas obviously can't be saved by the bell until the last round. Three Nevada judges, one a lady, Patricia Sharman, and Jerry Roth and Chuck Giampa were judges of their last fight, when one of them made Bowe win by 7 rounds and another one by 3 rounds. So the talking's now at last over. And this man, Jim, he really looks awesome, doesn't he? We watched him work out and at the weigh-in. He's so relaxed about it all.
Yeah, I like Bowe's attitude. I mean, okay, the couple of defences he's had up against very poor opposition, but he just marches straight in and gets them right out of there straight away, no messing about. He has a good attitude for the game, doesn't waste time, gets on about the job.
All the debate about whether if Bowe wins this as he's expected to, obviously, if you go by the odds. Well, I know that Caesar's World have Bowe under contract, but they say he doesn't have to fight Michael Moore. There is an escape clause if he gets a match with looks. So we're just waiting now for Ready to Rumble Michael Buffer being signalled to give the announcements. Bit of a wash and brush up before the start there. Heavy Vaseline around the face there. Won't help him with slip punches, but it stops a bit of chafing of the gloves. And maybe this fella's beard if they get that close. There's Emmanuel Stewart, of course, who handled Hearns. Now this will be the second fight that Emmanuel's had with Evander Holyfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spencer Promotions, Main Events Monitor, and the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the World Boxing Association, and the International Boxing Federation. The officials for Nevada are Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Luther Mack, Bruce Lane, and Dr. James Nave. Executive Director Mark Ratner. The 3 physicians in attendance ringside, Dr. Flip Romansky, Dr. James Wishgame, and Dr. Robert Boy. Timekeeper, Mike Latella. Counting for the knockdown seconds, James Cavan. Representing the IBF, as supervisor is its president, Robert W. Lee Sr. And here for the WBA, as supervisor ringside, Dr. Elias Cordova Jr. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system, and the 3 judges assigned at ringside will be Jerry Roth, Chuck Jampa, and Patricia Sharman. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, working for the 71st time in a world title bout, referee Mills Lane. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the site where legends are made, Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the gold trunks with black trim and weighing 217 pounds. This 1984 Olympic medalist has a professional record of 29-1 with 22 KOs. He is a former 2-time undisputed world champion in 2 different divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, from Atlanta, Georgia, the challenger and former heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Holyfield. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim and weighing in at 246 pounds. He's also an Olympic medalist, winning super heavyweight silver in 1988. Since turning professional, his record is a perfect 34-0, 29 by knockout victory. And tonight, he defends his title for the 3rd time. Ladies and gentlemen, from Brooklyn, New York, presenting the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick Bowe!
So here are the instructions coming now from Little Mills Lane. He's a tough referee, this fellow. Great physical shape, he's saying. There's no doubt about it. So there it is, as I said, repeat or revenge.
Okay, now, Eddie, I want to tell you, if he goes right here, I'm not going to call it low. That's going to be all right. Fair enough? All right, now, this is for the championship of the world. We've only gone through all the instructions one time. I expect a tough, clean fight. But check yourself at all times. Any questions from the challenger? No. Any questions from the champion? Let's get it on.
That's a great start, isn't it? You think he was in court there, as he was asking any questions like the judge did before the off. Well, there you go. The pleasantries are over, and the real stuff begins. 17 stone 8, a reminder, Riddick Bowe. 15 stone 7, Evander Holyfield. Holyfield says he wants to get off to a hard start. Now this dollar's dropped from every facet of this fight. Not so long ago, they were sparring when Bowe was a 17-year-old amateur, sparred with Holyfield. Oh dear, oh dear, generally you can hear those thudding in here close at the ring up. They are wicked punches already.
Well, Bowe's getting home straight away on edge. That's the last thing Holyfield needs. Straight away.
His 2 defences have been quick. You'd like to bring that off again. He wants to take the play away, try and dishearten Holyfield in the first round. Got such fast hands for a big man, isn't he, Bojo?
Yeah, and it's the way he marches straight and He's got a tremendous attitude to the game. He really believes he's the best, and he just wants to wipe everybody out who stands in front of him.
tremendous transformation from his amateur days. And that's not taken any glory away from Alex Lewis, who did a real good job on him, of course, in the Olympic final in Seoul, and stopped him in 2 rounds. But he's really got himself together as a pro now. You know, the Eddie Futch tutor just paid off. He won't fight a gutsier fighter than Evander Holyfield. He won't be bothering to count his money now. His pride's at stake.
Bowe's getting through with punches right away in the first round, and that's really a bad sign for Holyfield.
He's developing an uppercut, actually, Riddick Bowe. Eddie Futch was telling me that how impressed he's been with him working in the gym. There's always something new with each fight he comes up with. We can't talk as though we're saying that Holyfield's the loser already, Jim. I mean, he's such a competent fighter. 1 loss in 30 fights, remember.
You have to remember, Reg, he didn't really budge Bowe for his punches in the previous fight. So we can't really expect him to do it here. I know he's heavier, but he's never really had true heavyweight punching power.
You called that one, Jim. One bad at the office after 8 good years. I tell you what, there's a lot of punches and correct punches in the opening round of a heavyweight fight. Not as though the moves have been choreographed for them after 12 hard rounds last time. This is the 13th round, isn't it? This is a carry-on.
Excellent first round.
That was some opening round. Well, already there's just a little bit of a mark under Bowe's eye. That surprised me, getting that end swell on, the old, what I still call the doll's house eye. There they leave in the bucket and just push away the swelling.
Keep the pressure on it.
See that, keep the pressure on
Time is
him.
beautiful. Just keep working your rhythm, and when you get through with your punches, drop to the inside. That's it. Push him. Get your leverage where you can use that strength. Push the big ball balance. Don't put too much on. No, you don't want to.
Now then, just have a look at that again.
Well, there was the difference in the first round was only in Bowe's strength. Holyfield came in with some good shots, trying to stay mobile. But whenever they trade off, just the sheer bulk, strength and power of Bowe is obviously going to be the big problem.
Second round. And if that's a taste of things to come, we're in for a really good fight again. Holyfield, he's been saying, well, I want to make up for the mistakes I made last time. And one of those rounds, the 10th round, well, all the experts say it's one of the greatest rounds in heavyweight history.
So we also have to remember, Reg, apart from the physical disadvantages Holyfield has to face, he is probably slightly past his peak himself. He's not quite as good as he was, not quite as sharp. And what the previous fight must have taken something out of him, Reg. That was a real hard night's work.
Yeah, you get a bit shell shock after a fight like that. Oh, they're roughing it up now. Bill Zane's having a problem there. And it's Bowe was to blame there. Jimmy was hitting and holding in the first minute of the second round.
Holyfield certainly looking sharp, Reg. Getting the punches off quickly.
Cracking cruiserweight he was, wasn't he? He could have been champion forever if he'd have maintained that weight. But this is where the money is. Oh, that was the one that got away, and weren't the crowd disappointed? Just see that, he's saying out there, Bowe, watch his head. Admiring the referee to do his job. Before they fought last time, Jim, there was well, not a doubt, but a wonder whether Bowe really had the heart for the game, which they think went back to the Olympic final. They weren't very happy about the Americans. But they'd underestimated Lewis, actually. That was the problem there. But his heart was big in that last fight. I haven't got the slightest doubt about that, have you?
Not in the slightest, no. Just the extra little bit of reach he has here with his jab is causing Holyfield a couple of problems. Well, every sign Reg is going to be as good as the previous one.
Strangely enough, the Duva family who managed Holyfield for the last time, they thought the return was going to be easily as tough. That surprised me, and they know their business. And Eddie Futz thought it would be a good fight, at least until both started getting on top. So coming up the end of the second then, the WBA and IBF versions of the heavyweight championship of the world. And it gets, well, it's getting hotter in the ring, but it's certainly getting colder outside. Popping out the gum shield, the only thing allowed above the waist for protection by boxers.
He's a little tight, you react.
Break on off, okay? Because you get him tired, then you can turn it on.
They've got to work hard, these cornermen here, haven't they? Already getting the bruises and contusions of battle. Ralph Citro there is a great record book compiler there. He's also the cut man, but there isn't any cuts there. He's just getting the bruises down. Almost like putting on the makeup, is it, for a Rocky film there? But this is the real thing. So I don't know who's in that balloon up there. He hasn't got much of a view though, as he was ever paid to see it from that here. Round 3. Big Daddy roughing it up there in the second round of it. Evander Holyfield had a 12-rounder last June against Alex Stewart. It didn't look particularly good in that. It was seen on ITV. He's a no-nonsense referee, Mills Lane. Broomstick in that left-hand jab. As close as we are to it, you can hear it thudding in.
It's the length he has in the jab that's given Holyfield the problems. Holyfield doesn't want to get too involved. He's trying to nick in, land 2 or 3 shots and get out again. With just a couple of inches extra that Bowe has in the jabs, catching him as he comes forward.
6'5", Riddick Bowe, 6'1", Holyfield. Although he was shorter than that when he was a cruiserweight, so I don't know whether the management put him in a grow bag.
And Eddie Futz has been telling Bowe just to be patient, so he's looking maybe for him to take over in the second half of the fight. Just be patient in the first 4 or 5 rounds or so.
Bowe says that heavyweight champions of the world should take their man out as quickly as they can. Let them know who's boss. Trying to make him jab for jab.
He's playing a bit ahead again, Reg.
Yeah, a minute to go in this round. He's getting a bit angry there, Bowe, isn't he?
Yeah, complaining a bit ahead again. There was a little flash there. And that's the problem when the opponent's shorter than you are. If there's a clash, you're going to come off worse. Holyfield's tactics are good, Reg. He's not staying in the one spot too long. He's getting his punches off and then moving out.
Yeah, he's nice and mobile. Talked about the uppercut, but I haven't seen that close in by Bowe. Kind of pick his spot with that, I would think. Coming up to the end of the 3rd round. Ooh, the old 1-2 there, the left hand and right hand followed in. absorbs a good punch though, Evander Holyfield. That's one of his hallmarks, I must say.
We're getting to slow down now. Yeah. Keep that stick going. Keep that stick going.
That stick
When
is
you
the
get
left-hand jab, he means by that.
Have to use your hook and cross.
Jim, have a look at this.
Yeah, well, excellent jabbing from Bowe. I still feel that for a heavyweight, the jab, the best punch in the book. That was when they complained about the little clash of heads as they moved in. But never mind complaining, just got on with the job. It's the second time he's complained, but nothing intentional. It's just that Holyfield's boring his way in. He's that little bit smaller, but
oh, well, that was
good
a
punching.
pat on the back almost there, that right hand punch. That must have hurt as well. So the think tank there, Holyfield's corner, Emmanuel Stewart trying to outsmart Eddie Futch in the other corner. Between them, they really are fountains of wisdom. Fourth round. You know, Jim, they're using a boxing expression. He fancies the jump a bit, Holyfield, really, doesn't he?
Well, he's always had the pride, Reg, and that's what any sport's all about, just having pride in yourself, not to let yourself or your people down. Holyfield's always had that in abundance, and he's only lost the one fight, remember. You see the difference when the jabs land, with the power.
Oh, absolutely.
Has real solid.
Oh, that was a low blow too. I thought Mills Lane was going to pull him up, but he doesn't want to stop the action for that. See, this is the oldest axiom in the game, Jim, isn't it? The good big one will always beat the good little one. But how can you call them little ones? I keep saying that, 15 stone 7.
It's just as long as Bowe hasn't taken Holyfield lightly, Reg. This is the man you have to give 100% respect. A little uppercut inside there from Bowe.
Yeah, that's it.
See, they're close up a little bit longer now in this round than they've been in any of the previous rounds. The pace is slowing, and this is where you have to expect Bowe to start taking charge a little bit with his strength.
Real quality fighters, heavyweights, aren't they, these? Bit surprised that Holyfield's willing to stand in and trade close in like that, Jim.
I don't know if it's by choice, Reg. I mean, he was doing quite well with the mobile stuff. But this is a big fellow, and mixing it with big fellow certainly takes the steam out of your legs.
Minute to go in the fourth.
Also at long range he was being out jabbed now and again. So maybe he feels he just has to get close and try it once again the hard way.
Oh, this what punch is sinking in here. You can hear the oohs and ahs coming from the back of this arena. And certainly from me at ringside as well, almost feeling the punches with them. Punching it out now as we come to the last 10 seconds of round 4.
Holyfield's work rate is good in this round, Reg.
Yeah, he's had a good round. After the bell, this will keep going. I knew it would. And they've flown in there. The referee can't get in the seconds. Emmanuel Stewart looked like getting caught there. They've actually hauled Holyfield back to the corner. I could see that was definitely going to happen there, Jim, couldn't you? I mean, they really steamed themselves up as the bell went. I haven't seen that for a long time.
Some facial damage here, Reg. It looks like it's a cut in the eye.
Yeah.
Those cut. Even the referee didn't hear the bell then, and a lot of punches were landed after the bell.
You see, you may have heard that bell at home much clearer than you could hear it in the ring, actually.
Looks to me like 2 bits of damage on the same eye, Reg.
Yeah.
One in the middle and a little nick on the outside. Not a bad round for Holyfield.
Let's have a look at the finish here. See, look at those bumping and boring heads there. Now, Bowe caught Holyfield there.
Yeah, well, Holyfield really went for it there, Reg, and a few signs that he did have the power to trouble the big man. I mean, the bell had gone long before this exchange.
Round 5. Now then, are they going to calm down or are they going to keep this war going? And the last thing we want to see is a contest actually to be finished by injuries. That's either way, of course. I don't think they're serious, those cuts, so I think Ralph Citro's taking pretty good care of those with Riddick Bowe. Usually adrenaline swab there, that's all that's permitted by the boxing commissions.
Holyfield backing the big man up, Reg, and if he can manage to do this, he certainly shortens the odds that are against him. If he can back Bowe up, Reg, it gives him a chance.
Holyfield was saying that before the fight. I heard him say it, that I boxed with him as an amateur. I know things have changed since, but if you put pressure on him, you've got him on the run, Bowe, you can win the fight. And I didn't do that last time, but I want to do it this time.
Bowe is actually looking a little bit looser, Reg. His defences have loosened.
Absolutely.
He's not quite as tight and compact as he was. I don't know what's going on here, if he's taking a breather or what's happening here, but he's going to have to tighten up and try to take charge. I wonder if already he's feeling the pace. That was a hectic round, the previous one.
Oh. Just look out for that. Bowe waits for him to come in and he whipped that uppercut in there. He might not have seen that probably, and I don't think Holyfield did either.
The injury bleeding again, just in the top of Bowe's nose. Holyfield a little bit sharper than Bowe at this stage, Reg.
Minute to go in this round, and the crowd really getting with the underdog now, aren't they?
Well, as they come into the ring, Holyfield is really expecting a war. Maybe Bowe wasn't. Maybe Bowe was thinking he would handle him easier this time. Holyfield prepared and ready for a real hard battle.
I'm trying to remember if Bowe has been cut in a fight before, Jim. I can't remember.
I don't think so. I don't remember
think he
him being
has.
cut.
I think he's been hit too much either. Only in his previous fight with Holyfield, obviously.
Bowe is not looking in charge, Reg. Nope, actually he's looking in trouble, never mind in charge.
Absolutely. I wonder if they'll go on after the bell here. It's getting right to the end of the round, and Holyfield well on top. He's in trouble there, Riddick Bowe.
He looks exhausted, Reg. He looks tired.
He looks exhausted. He looks as if, well, have I trained hard enough for this fight? And everything that Holyfield said before this fight, that he was going to apply a lot of pressure, get this fellow on the run, has started to pay off.
Yeah, that side, right here.
Well, he's going to get time to catch our breath here, Jim, let alone the fighters. But he really was rocking at the end of that round. Let's have another look. Blowing hard, wasn't he?
Holyfield finished the previous round better, and he picked up on this one. His pace is better, his punching's better, and Bowe actually was lost a couple of times in that round. See, look, not knowing where to go, he's lost all the urgency. Good shot, is bang on his chin, he's not coming back with anything. Bowe produced virtually nothing in that round.
So they are. Battle continues then, round 6 coming up. And some terse orders there coming from Eddie Futch to Riddick Bowe. Take time off? No, I don't know what the delay was there, getting the shield in, I think.
See, Reg, every sport's the same. If you're not psyched up for a real battle before it starts, you can't do it during. Maybe Bowe thought he was going to get right into control, and it was going to be far easier than the previous one. In fact, it's harder.
Well, I mean, you know, Jim, if you had a poll of the American and indeed the British boxing riders around here, 42 of them, there was only 2 that thought that Holyfield could win.
Maybe looking at the bookies' odds of maybe affected Bowe. See, there's no sharpness in what he's doing. I think he's feeling the pace. I think he's lost a lot of steam already. But where's the sharp jab, Reg?
Yes, it's the way it's turned around, Jim, is remarkable. Bowe saying to himself, well, or trying to impart to Holyfield, come on, let's take our time here, let's calm down. He's just not unleashing the punches that he'd done at the start, Jim.
It looks to me that he's lost a lot of steam. He should be pushing Holyfield back. These punches are bang on target from Holyfield.
Brilliant. As you were saying, Jim, it's as though Bowe was saying, I didn't really expect this, and it sickened him a little bit. Now, I don't know whether we're misreading it or not, but that's my impression anyway.
No, there's definitely been something missing from Bowe the last couple of rounds. The sharpness, he's lost the sharpness. Holyfield still has it.
Minute to go in the 6th. Oh. Now he's pushing Holyfield back a bit now. It's a bit rough.
He's not getting enough punches off.
Tried to drop a right hand, and the crowd reacted to that. So the last few seconds now of the 6th round. So let's go back to the studio and hear from Lennox Lewis.
I thought that was a very interesting round. As you can see, Holyfield looks very sharp, but it's still early days yet, and the fight still has a long way to go. Bowe looks like he's blowing it a hell of a lot, and he's cut, so he could be worried about his cut. He looks very tired, but he still can come out with his big punches. Right here you see Holyfield catching with a good combination. He should just step up the pace and just stay on him. Good fast punches combination. The left hook, the right hand got through there. That's what Holyfield should be doing.
Okay, thanks Lennox, and well, as you see, there's Ralph Citro, the cut man, getting out the ring there, having to work on those injuries. By boxing standards, they don't look that serious, but well, cuts are never a good thing, obviously. Out for the 7th round. The overhead view of it. Now, and Bowe start now getting sort of a bit more aggressive and saying, hey, I'm the champ, I'm going to take over, because we've been impressed with Holyfield in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, it's fairly tilted the points back in his direction, Reg. I mean, it can be fairly level. If you give Bowe the first 3 rounds, you can certainly, if you wanted, give Holyfield the last 3. His punches have been far better. But this is what Bowe has to do. Well, he's still got it left to do.
Yeah, that's right. I think they've shaken him up in the corner and saying, hey, what are you doing? Throwing this fight away. Open up with him.
See, he's got the advantages. He's going to have to use them. And he's not using them if he allows Holyfield to back him up. Busier with the jab again. This is what he was doing earlier. He's got to try to control Holyfield with that jab.
Oh dear, there's only a parachutist hitting the ropes. I do not believe this clown, where he has come from, unreal. Well, everything happens in the fight game. Take time off, the referee saying. I would think so. How on earth did that guy came in like that? Oh my God.
Well, Reg, he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've never seen so much security, policemen. Only in America can this happen.
He's actually hit the canopy above the ring, Reg. Yeah, his parachute is still jammed up there.
That's right, and he hit the ropes though.
Yes, he actually, his feet were actually right inside the ring.
He got underneath the canopy. Oh dear, I'm glad he didn't fall on us here, Jim, I tell you that. Well, what can we do? It's absolutely ridiculous. See, they've got to pull that parachute down, because the people who've paid, I mean, up to $800 here, remember, $100 to $800, they won't be able to see the fight. But I've never seen so many policemen, all like sentinels around the the ropes here, waiting for this clown, whoever he is. I tell you what, he's made himself famous.
Well, Reg, we've seen the ring invaded before, but never from this guy.
Oh dear, oh dear. How on earth did he do it? What I mean is, how, you know...
What was he doing parachuting at night, Reg?
Exactly. I mean, it's unreal.
What a nutcase. Who's going to be parachuting at night?
Well, this, you know, this is the sort of town where anything can happen and does happen. Oh dear, oh dear. There's so many security men and Caesar's Palace police and Met police as well to go with it.
They should actually cover the fighters up, Reg. This is with a blanket, but yeah, that's what they're doing now. They've just started doing that. Do that. Because it is very cold here.
It is, isn't it? I tell you what, Jim, I hope this doesn't affect them. It could well do. I mean, they're not going to be amused by this, just as they, you know, particularly Bowe was starting to fight well there.
Please, folks, please sit down. If anybody gets injured, we'll help you out. Anybody is injured, we'll help you out.
So is anybody injured? He may have kicked somebody, you know, as he was landing there, Jim. That's what they're worried about.
The good thing is, Reg, the fact that the parachute's feet landed in the ring, hopefully it didn't hit anybody on the way down. I think his parachute caught the canopy and swung him right in through the ropes. So there's a chance he hasn't actually landed on anybody, but maybe he did as he fell back out the ring again.
Oh, I see, Jim. Yeah, they probably came with that motor on his back. They can, you know, guide themselves in with that, can't they? You remember the fellow that did it at the opening of the Los Angeles games there? They zoom in on them, but I mean, it's so dangerous. It's unbelievable, this. I hope nobody is hurt anyway. Every cameraman in the place is trying to get round there and grab the pictures. But there are some emergency people and paramedics going in as well. There it is, you can get an overhead view of what happened there, how he got his feet under that canvas, and then of course the parachute caught the top.
They've almost got the parachute down. It seems that he landed right where the Bowe family are sitting, Reg, according to what I'm hearing.
Oh, did it? Yes, it was the Bowe corner, just on the side of the Bowe corner. Well, I must say, both fighters seem to be coping with it very well from where we can see. It's, you can imagine they're all crowded around now in the press benches area and the commentary positions, and all we're seeing at the moment is backs of policemen and security men.
Please be seated. Stay out of the aisles. Please be seated.
See, they've got to be careful pulling that down, Jim, because they don't want to pull some lights over as well.
Security, please clear the aisles down here, folks. Use your seat to sit down at this time, please.
Knowing it's a big gambling town, Jim, I suppose some cranker said he'd bet somebody he would do it, you know, that's probably had a $10 bet or something.
Good. That's it, folks, thank you, please. Please sit down, thank you.
They're going to have to get that parachute down, Reg, before the fight can continue anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Please. Thank you very much, please sit down.
But the fellow certainly looked in a hell of a state as he was lying on the floor. He didn't quite know where he was. He severely concussed.
Well, I wonder what he'll claim when they drag him to court. Not I came in to stop a fight, I hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, please sit down.
So, as you can probably hear, they're asking the audience to sit down. There's a close-up of that swelling, of course, of Bowe over the left eye. Giving them a bit of a chance to get it down, actually, Jim. There it comes now. There's a replay. Now, just watch this now. You see the propeller on the back, Jim. That's what I meant. Look, I called it a motor, you see. There he goes. What an absolute crank this has got to be. Look. It's a wonder he didn't hit people on the way in there. That could have been dangerous. Well, who's ever covered that, they've covered it very well, the camera boys there, haven't they?
Well, if that's one of his mates, possibly, Reg. I don't know if that was the actual one or if that was one of his mates.
No, it must have been the same one. I can't believe it was his sparring partner.
Surely not two of them in the one night, eh?
Not two cranks in one night. Oh, dear. Tell you what, old Eddie the Eagle had the needle about that, won't he? He wouldn't have mind doing that. This is where, you know, they've got to calm him down, take your time, don't let this get to you. Where the experience of these cornermen really count.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated, clear the aisles.
You can, it's in the ring, don't do shit.
We need an aisle.
It's in the ring, out to keep that, get him back there. So you need also...
It's hardly the time for boxing talking there. It's the time to get this boy, both of them, calmed down. He's decided to stand now, Holyfield, saying, where did they get this fella from?
I mean, it's amazing how we keep inventing new rules in the fight game, Reg, but what would have happened if he'd landed on top of one of the fighters and the fight would stop? Would it have gone to points, or what would have happened? It's amazing.
Oh dear,
Who would ever think up a rule to cover that one, eh?
Especially coming after the third round, you know, after the third rounds had been completed, 3 rounds, then they'd have had to go to the scorecard. Oh no, it should have been a no contest, you know, outside interference.
The idiot that caused this problem, he will be dealt with, I promise you.
Oh, well, that's... Did you hear the MC there? He will be dealt with, I promise you, Jim. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he said the idiot that caused this problem, yeah.
There's Reverend Jesse Jackson there.
So that's one of the spectators that have been injured, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And he may be with the Reverend. He supports this thing that Riddick Bowe has got himself involved in now, the No Violence campaign.
I think he'll be calling it intervention from above, Reg.
Exactly.
Very important at this time that you would please do not stand on your chair. Sit in it or stand in front of it and move a little bit to the side, out of the way, pretty please.
Reg, it looks as though it's still going to be quite some time before this fight resumes.
Yeah, look, there's a woman being led out there as well. And the paramedics are working hard there. They're coming right across our commentary position here, Jim. Just duck your head here.
Well, somebody is severely injured, Reg,
yeah,
that's for sure.
But I thought between us we'd seen everything that you could see happen in boxing, Jim. Been around the world and back covering this, but this is just something I don't know. I'm running out of words now on what to say about it. It's just unbelievable.
What is it Don King keeps saying, Reg? Only in America. Maybe it's only in Las Vegas.
Please, folks, in your seats, please.
See if we can find Gary Newbon among the crowd there here for his report.
Yes, Reggie, I can tell you exactly what happened. Apparently the parachutist came in, bounced off the ropes and landed on the knee of the Reverend Jesse Jackson's wife. Jesse Jackson, his wife, are special guests, as they have been all week here at the fight. And then, as the parachutist sort of got up, that is the parachutist we're looking at, a couple of people apparently went to sort of hit him because they were so angry, and he landed back on Jesse Jackson's wife again. She's being looked after, but the parachutist is obviously in a very bad way. He must have surely have broken something, the speed he came in at. Actually, looking at those pictures again, I thought it was obviously a deliberate stunt. I mean, when I first saw him, I thought the parachutist must have been blown off course. And as Jim Watts said, what the hell's he doing at night? But when you see it again on that brilliant replay from that cameraman, very alert cameraman, he's obviously done it for a stunt. And it's a most dangerous thing. I mean, besides the fact it's bizarre and sensational, I mean, anything could have happened. The guy is totally irresponsible. But at the moment, he seems to be the person who is really hurt. They're going to carry him out, and Jesse Jackson's wife's getting attention, but obviously and hopefully she's going to recover from that.
Okay, Gary, on the spot as always, and as you say, he seems to be the only serious casualty that we know of anyway, and I should imagine we would have known before. As we saw earlier, Jesse Jackson taking out the lady, and I assumed it was his wife, but didn't want to say so until you'd confirmed it. So Emmanuel Stewart saying, take no notice. There it is now.
Folks, if you would cooperate, please.
So back to Gary.
Stand on the chairs. It's very important that you don't stand on the chairs.
Reggie, some more news. Judy Bowe, that's Riddick Bowe's wife, of course, is heavily pregnant with her 4th child, and she passed out. I don't think she was struck, but that was the Bowe family area. and she passed out, and she has been rushed to hospital. She's expecting her 4th child, and I hope, as everyone does here, that she's going to be okay. Just to the left of that parachutist there, where he landed was where Riddick Bowe was sitting, and there he goes.
I assume, Gary, that Riddick Bowe doesn't know that.
No, what happened was they turned around and they didn't want Riddick Bowe to worry unnecessarily, and in fact they put the thumbs up to him. He obviously looked over immediately because he would be only too aware that this is where his family was sitting, particularly Judy, as I say, stressing that she's pregnant with their 4th child, and he was given the thumbs up. So he's waiting there. I think he's been told again now. He's looking very anxious at the moment. But Judy's been rushed on.
There's a replay of that, Gary, as if we wanted to see that again, really. But it was brilliant coverage by the cameraman there, as you see him landing on the canopy, just about to there.
I mean, Reggie, it does look a deliberate stunt, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Absolutely. Oh dear. Now you see why he fought. He seems all right there, though, doesn't he? But you see the weight of that. Well, look, the big heavy propeller there.
And look, people coming forward and having a right go at him. Look, there you go. They're trying to grab him to cart him off, and in fact they did the worst possible thing. I think somebody whacked him as well there. See, really look at it here, Reggie. You can see, look at that motor there. I mean,
yeah, I know.
What an idiot.
That's what's created so much problem there, Gary, isn't it?
And that makes me think that he must have deliberately steered his way into the ring. I mean, obviously we're speculating at this stage, Reg, but obviously in this gambling town, somebody's dared him or had a bet they could land in the ring. He was deliberately, from those pictures, I assume, trying to land in the ring.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's a nutter who's had a bet. That's what we'll probably find out later, and well, assuming he will recover, and well, you know, as crazy as he's been, I wouldn't wish that on him, of course.
At the moment, the hold-up is caused by the fact they just want to calm things down, but by the parachute cover.
Yeah, just at this point, Gary, we'd like to hear what Lennox Lewis thinks about this now. A man who knows it could have happened to him, couldn't it? Lennox?
I tell you what, I sure hope it never happens to me. It's definitely an unfortunate situation. It holds up the time for both boxers. They're both doing so well, especially Evander Holyfield. Now they're going to have to start just over again and just start it like it's a new fight. Hopefully, both fighters didn't get cold, and Holyfield's doing the right thing by walking around and keeping his legs nice and loose.
Barry McGuigan, what effect do you think this is going to have on the most important people? Forget the parachutists, the fighters.
I think it's a travesty for Evander Holyfield. He was on a roll, as they say, and he was boxing brilliantly. And this could turn and change the outcome of this fight dramatically. It will be incredibly interesting to see what happens now when the fight restarts again. But I think, in my opinion, it was a travesty for Evander Holyfield.
Is there a case, Frank, for declaring this fight a no contest, saying, hey, after this we've got to forget about it, because what's going to happen now might be a bit unrealistic?
I would think they'll let the fight go on, and then whoever loses is going to complain, and quite rightly. I thought Riddick Bowe was just coming a bit back into the fight at that stage, but I've got Holyfield well in front, 2 rounds in front. I think it's a shame.
I think I've got him a couple of rounds in front. How are you scoring it at the moment, Lennox?
I've got Holyfield 1 round in front.
And you, Barry?
And I've got Holyfield 1 round in front too. Just one.
So he's a determined jibber.
He really is. I wouldn't have imagined that he'd have fought that good, but he's come back and has proved us all wrong. Brilliant performance.
Absolutely, it's been a magnificent performance by that great warrior Evander Holyfield so far. Just looking, of course, we're seeing exactly the same pictures as you are at the ring over there in Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. They seem to be clearing it, and I would think after a delay of, what's it going to be, something like 15 or 20 minutes, isn't it, that they will very shortly get underway. And this crazy jumper, obviously they've still got a fair bit of, I'm not so sure they are going to start that soon, actually, looking at that, because they're going to have to make sure that's totally safe and clear it all away. Let's get back to our guys on the spot. Of course, Gary Newbon with all the latest news, Jim Watt, and well, Reggie Guttridge, you've seen a few things over the years in boxing. I think this is a first for you, as for it is for all of us.
For those of you coming to your seats, come forward if you don't have
Well, there you are.
anything
They're having to wrap
please
Riddick
go
Bowe
back
up
to
now.
your
It must have
seats.
been very disconcerting for him there, but MC Mike Buffer has done a good job there, and one of the Caesars Palace staff climbed right up the gantry there and cleared it all up now. Tim Watt says, now what are we doing? Are we watching Holyfield v Bowe 3 now? Well, it's hardly a natural break, that one, was it?
Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats right here. We'll be underway in just a few moments.
Well, we'd actually reached an important part of the contest, Reg, because we were waiting to see could Riddick Bowe turn it back round in his favour again, because Holyfield 3 very good rounds under his belt.
Are they going to restart the round, Jim? Or I don't remember how far it was into the round now. It's so shocked by it all. When I say restart, I mean to go the full 3 minutes again.
I don't think so. I remember the referee did signal down to the timekeeper.
Take time off, yeah, exactly.
So he probably caught the time at that point.
Yeah, quite right, yeah.
We do have people that need minor medical attention. We want to get that taken care of. So please, folks, right down here, if you can find your seats, we'll accommodate you, no problem.
Calling for people who need minor medical attention to come down. The medical staff are waiting for them there.
Folks, we're just a few minutes away.
So we make that, what, 18 minutes stoppage there. And really, the staff and the security have done quite well in that time to get it back together again, although the fight actually hasn't restarted.
Just moments away. Folks, if you'll find your seats right here, we'll be underway in just a few minutes, please. If you weren't seated here...
We were 1 minute into round 7 then, Jim, so presumably we've got to have a 2-minute round when it restarts. Well, I tell you what, you may never have seen or heard of us again if you'd have come on our side of the ring, because, you know, that whole machine looked so frightening when he came down.
We will be underway. Referee Mills Lane is ready. The fighters are ready. We are waiting for the resumption of... We'll resume where we left off in round 7. This is the resumption of round 7. We'll be underway in just a moment.
Judy is pregnant, and she was overcome with emotions. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. Some kind of way or the other, it seems like when we're involved in a boxing match, you can expect the unexpected.
Well, now the obvious question is, your fighter's in the ring, he's going to continue. Is he aware that anything happened to Judy?
No, he's not. He's not aware that anything happened. I'm just really disappointed because he had taken the first part of the fight. Holyfield had come back, and Riddick, just his momentum was just coming back right when all of this happened. So I'm very disappointed that this happened.
Knowing your fighter like you do, what do you think is going to have, what kind of effect on his mindset?
Well, this is a strange set of circumstances I don't think anyone has ever had to deal with before. I'm just hoping that he's able to get back in and focus. They got to run, Jim.
So there, I'll restart it after almost 20 minutes now. And the word is well, Rock Newman just passed us there. The manager of Bowe says no, Riddick's not aware that his wife was taken away. So now, well, it all seems very peaceful now, doesn't it? A big fight, Jim, instead.
Well, it had really reached an important part, Reg, as I say, because we were waiting to see could Bowe turn it back in his favour. He had the first 3 rounds. You could certainly have given Holyfield at least 2 of the next 3, possibly the 3 of them. His work was a lot better. So a finely balanced heavyweight fight. Now, I really felt by now Bowe would really be taken over, but that's not the case.
Not easy for him to come back to, you know, get sparking up again. They must have been cold, but I keep emphasising, I mean, it's in the mid-40s here at the moment. Minor advantage Riddick Bowe might have got out of that. Of course, it's a bit longer for them to be able to coagulates on the eye there, just cut around the left eye. half a chance to not heal, but to, well, staunch any blood flow. He's firing on all cylinders, Holyfield, isn't he?
Really boxing well, Holyfield. He's pumping the punches out, not punching in ones, he's punching threes and fours. Obviously makes it difficult to score that round, Reg, with the break after the first minute.
Yeah, there you are. There's Mrs. Jackson being taken out there.
Give the two fighters a hand here. They've been waiting and they are ready to rumble again.
The ambulances are always on site, part of the boxing regulation, but nobody expects a member of the crowd like that to need it. Get the odd fainting, I suppose, occasionally, but nothing worse. So a lot of patching up going on in both corners, actually, more so on Bowe's face.
Take the belt back home and be in church tomorrow. That's it. Take it back. Boys, they'll shoot you 1-2-1.
Round 8. Fight a, you know, a really good competitive fight, but we didn't need that ridiculous interruption.
I think Bowe must move up a gear if he has a gear to move up into, Reg. It's just that little bit slow. Holyfield looking the sharper, pumping the punches out.
Made a lot of noise, that punched him, didn't it?
Both stalking Reg, but not really throwing many punches, and he's kind of pawing with his jab at the moment.
I mean, Holyfield, judging him his last fight with Alex Stewart, I mean, very disappointing. A different guy altogether. Of course, the opposition makes a difference. I mean, Stewart didn't really want to fight. And,
also, Reg, he was always in control against Stewart. He didn't have to produce anything better than he was producing. Bowe has to turn this into a war, Reg. He's allowing Holyfield too much space and allowing him to get too many punches off. He's the bigger and the stronger. He has to turn this into a war.
Well, we said there's a chance of it measuring up to their first match here, but it's certainly doing that, really, isn't it? May not be quite as good, but near enough.
Punch out, two hands are free.
A minute to go in this round.
His eye bleeding again. See, these are good shots from Holyfield. I certainly like Holyfield's punches better than Bowe's. Bowe's pawing a bit with the jab. Holyfield's getting them out in combinations. See, the last time they fought, Bowe was the challenger, Reg. He was the real hungry one. Holyfield's looking the hungrier at this moment.
All right, we sit back. Come on. Hey, Mike, go ahead.
Couldn't believe a fellow with plenty of money, and he really does have a lot of money, Holyfield. Really want to do this. It just shows you, though, this is all a gladiatorial game at this stage, Jim, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about being the heavyweight champion of the world, Reg.
Every man's envy, wasn't it? And after the bell, no, Mills Lane's in.
Roll round, baby. You put it on ahead. Roll round.
Well, it's heated up in every sense now. I mean, the referee's very aware now when the bell goes, Jim, he has to dive in there. Actually, the timekeeper makes a little clatter of a noise to warn the seconds that it's the last 10, and I suspect that the referee can hear that too. Hasn't really worsened those cuts, Jim. Have a look at it again.
I just don't think Bowe is getting enough punches off. His punches are stronger than Holyfield's, but Holyfield's getting them out in combinations. Real good quality shots from Holyfield. See, Bowe really has to move up a gear. He has to make this a harder battle than it is at the moment. He has to make it a war. Then his maybe strength can get him in control.
The 9th round, scheduled of course for 12, the WBA and IBF versions of the Heavyweight Championship of the World. Reminder, of course, there's 3 judges from the Nevada state and the referee who doesn't vote.
He's got his jab moving again a little bit better. See, he has to get his punches off. He's waiting for Holyfield to throw the lead.
Oh,
this is
right
more like
there.
it.
That's more like it.
See, he has to back the man up, Reg, and he has to get his punches off first.
Some desperation there, isn't there, and determination by Bowe.
See, for the last few rounds, Bowe has been stalking and allowing Holyfield to lead off.
Accurate jabs now from Riddick Bowe.
When Bowe uses the jab properly, Reg, he really gets himself in the driving seat.
All the great fighters over the years, Ali, Joe Lewis, always have a good left hand. Larry Holmes, good jabbers, and that's what Bowe can do. Have you got it at this stage, Jim?
I've got them dead level, Reg. I had them level after the 6 rounds. I gave the first 3 to Bowe, the next 3 to Holyfield. The 7th was difficult because of the way it was interrupted. I've given Holyfield 1 since. But this looks like Bowe's round here.
Waiting for him to come in there, Bowe, with the right-hand counter.
I want to step back.
Well, I tell you what, Jim, that last fight we thought might have taken too much out of Holyfield. It hasn't been so.
Tremendous round this is.
Oh, right to the bell. This might go on after the bell if we're not careful. They've just come, and there it is. Oh, he was about to. I don't know why the crowd are jeering on that. I would have thought they would excite them at the thought of wanting to keep fighting all the time, even under extra time, and they don't get paid to fight between rounds.
We got to go from here.
A little sign of weariness from Holyfield at the end of that round, Reg.
Yeah, exactly.
10th round, baby. We got to go. These got to take all of these rounds here. You got the belt. You got to win these 9 minutes.
Yeah, what he's saying there, Jim, you've got to take all of these rounds and you've got the belt.
But you got to let the punches go now. Whether you're boxing or slugging, but let him go off. We hesitate a little bit more, okay? Let him go. Let him go, because if he go with you, he's going to get tighter than you are. He's a big man.
Have a look at it again.
Yeah, well,
so you just show it there. Look, you can see his distress there, can't you, Holyfield?
Yeah, you see, just for the first time for quite a few rounds, Bowe started using his advantages again.
So please there from Emmanuel Stewart to Holyfield, let your punches go, doesn't matter whether it's boxing or fighting. Round 10. Well, the majority of the quote-unquote experts thought this was going to go about 5 or 6 rounds. Oh yes, this is a different Bowe, Jim.
Yeah, well, he must know he needs it, Reg. He certainly lost a grip in the fight, allowed Holyfield right back in. Holyfield, a few signs of weariness in the last minute of the previous round, so maybe just like the sheer size of the job now taking its toll on him. boxed a lot better than I thought he would be able to.
Yeah, he's backing off a bit more now, Holyfield. Every punch, Jim, has got power, isn't it? There's no sort of taps and flaps, dunks as you call them in Scotland, is it?
Yeah, it's been a great battle, Reg. And they've just stood in range all the way through. Nobody looking to hide.
He's combination punching now, Bowe. For 2 rounds, he was on sleep, didn't he?
I got the impression that maybe Bowe had underestimated the task a couple of rounds ago. He seems to have got his attitude back.
Yeah, he's kind of fought himself into shape, hasn't he? As though he needed those rounds to get going.
Step back, Evander. Here we go. Come on.
Minute to go in the 10th. Now this, of course, was the great round of their last fight, but well, you couldn't hope for that again, I don't think. This is good enough. Signs of tiredness there, Jim, I suspect, don't you?
A little wonder, Reg. I mean, what a pace it's been. Holyfield's coming back now. Unbelievable.
It's not only the pace, it's the strength of the punches going in there. What a great fight this has turned out. Interruption or not, all the problems they've had, and what a punch-up. It's nearly, Jim, this 10th round is going to be as good as the last one.
Punched right out of his mouth, Reg.
Yeah, he's in trouble here.
Punched his gum shield right out. What a round. Well, I couldn't split them in that round, Reg.
Yeah, the referee leaned out through the ropes and pulled that back. But Bowe looked in bother.
That was the hardest round of the fight so far, and the best punch was landed by Holyfield just at the end of it. Knocked the gum shield clean out of his mouth.
And Ralph Citro taking over there wearing the protective gloves, of course, which are now awarded in the American rings. The protection against HIV, whether it's any blood flowing. I don't know what that chart was. I mean, you know, anything they want to say in Ali's favour is always in mind, but I don't quite know. Holly, they're calling now. I thought it was Ali for a minute. Yeah, the underdog they've taken to him, the audience.
Holyfield's on his feet earlier for the round. He's still full of the business.
So the 11th coming up now.
Well, this is testing Bowe's desire, Reg. We always knew about Holyfield's. This is testing Bowe's.
He was the governor in the start of that 10th round, but right at the finish there, he definitely looked in a bit of trouble.
Well, I found it difficult to split him in the 10th round there, Reg. Bowe started better.
And Holyfield finished better, you're right.
I've scored the 7th and the 10th both even in 4 rounds each apart from that, so I still got them level.
Don't you dare say there's another draw coming up, Jim. I couldn't take that. I really admire Holyfield for this fight, Jim. You know, the man we all thought hadn't got anything left. Why did he come back? Now we know he's still got it.
Let him go, Evander. Let him go. Step back. Let him go. Come on.
Done a good job here, the referee, Jim, hasn't he? I mean, they're big fellas to push around.
Yeah, he's kept under control. Well, a couple of bits of bad temper showed up at the end of rounds when they wanted to fight on. The referee's handled it well.
He's fearless. He gets in there when the punches are flowing. He's given them every chance to fight inside there. He's not calling break until he spots them actually holding.
Both very tired.
Yeah, they're punching themselves out now. And we've got a minute to go in this round. Yeah, they're the Holly chants again, which I have to say I'm mistaken. I'm so used to hearing the alley ones that I'd forgotten that they do it for Holy. So let's go Bowe now, they're retaliating.
How do you split them, Rez? I mean, it's just punch for punch here. Punch for punch.
Cracking fight, Jim, isn't it?
It's a great fight.
See, they're more spectacular from Holyfield. The back of the arena here, they really cheer that punch. He's not protecting himself there, Riddick Bowe. Well, that bell's beginning to sound like a little orchestra chiming, Jim. They're so pleased when that was over, both of them. They're blowing hard, and you can understand that. I mean, the weight of these fellas is pounding away the whole time.
And that round was just punch for punch. Every time one landed a punch, the other one come back with one.
And you can fight them just the way you fight them, in close.
Let's have a look at the replay then.
I mean, look at this. Holyfield comes in with one, Bowe comes back. I just had a feeling possibly Holyfield's punch is just that little bit cleaner than Bowe's. It was just a little bit better delivery. Right at the end of the round, Holyfield looked just about ready to take over again.
Holy, 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 holy. You got 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Knock the son of a bitch out.
Round number 12. The final round, a round of applause.
The MC calling for a round of applause for the final round. Oh, there's a nice gesture, isn't it? I've said before, it's like the old dentist handshake waiting for the extraction to come. Respect for each other, I like that one.
A low punch from Bowe there, definitely low.
I hear that Barry McGuigan, our point scorer back there in London, Jim, has got 107 to 105, and he's got Holyfield in front. I wouldn't like to split them. I don't like fence sitting, but I fancy doing it in this fight. There you are, though. You may get a difference of opinion actually in judging from ringside and from the view in London.
Hey, come on. Get him up now, come on. The punch is up. It's round one, come on.
You're saying round one there, the referee. If you get on with it. 2 minutes to go. Certainly the crowd favourite there, Holyfield, no doubt about that. What a final round it's going to be too.
Well, up to this moment, Bowe looking the better in the last round.
Yeah, he's having the better of it here. It's going for him a bit. Oof, punch under there.
Hey, get those punches up, come on.
There they go to a third fight, Jim. There's got to be some controversy here, whichever way it goes.
No matter what the verdict is, we could stand another one of this, couldn't we?
Yeah, any time.
Step back, amigo, come on.
Final minute. No knockdowns, but every other ingredient you can have in a big fight, this one.
Well, Bowe winning the last round, Reg, and that may just sway me in his direction because I've had it as close as that.
Well, I think they might give it to Bowe.
I've had them level after 10. I couldn't split the 11.
What a finish. Half a minute.
The gum shield.
Oh, that's a pity. Just
shield.
broken up the rhythm there. He's pushing him back to the neutral corner, and he has to wait the appropriate time to pick up the gum shield. That's the regulation.
Bowe has nothing left, Reg. The first 2 minutes in the last round, I think he's used up his tank. Not here he comes back again, but Holyfield coming back a little bit now. See the experience of the old pro Holyfield.
Last 10.
Just when you think he's got nothing left, he comes back in the last half minute of the round. I still got to give this round to Bowe.
Crowd on their feet here. What a finish!
Sit down! Sit down!
Look at this here. It's full of people rushing in the ring, knocking them over there, Jim.
Yeah, well,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
They just simply didn't hear the bell. A little bit of a bad temper. Holyfield landed a punch after the bell, but not intentionally, and Bowe reacted. That's what happened there.
Well, the invasion of the ring is absolutely ridiculous. Stewart had to jump on Holyfield there. Well, we're getting our breath back, Jim. Can you imagine what the fighters are like there? It's an incredible finish. Section of the British press there, you can see the editor of the trade paper continues. Jim?
What a tremendous battle, and Bowe come back in the last round for me, and won the round, certainly the work he put out in the first couple of minutes. Then he had very little left. Holyfield, with the old experienced old pro, come back with some decent work in the last half minute of the round. But I still had to score that last round for Bowe. You see, what's always kept us at tight is the fact that Holyfield's punching has been so cleanly delivered on target. And in the real close rounds, that may have just swayed it his way, I don't know. I feel that possibly the last round just nicks at that one round in Bowe's favour. See, a little bit of bad temper here. The bell had rung there. Purely unintentional punch after the bell from Holyfield. I mean, in most of the rounds that haven't actually heard the bell, the referee a couple of times didn't hear it, so just it's a pity if I had to end like that.
Yeah, and Emmanuel Stewart fell on top of his fighter there, Holyfield. Seconds of having to be brave here as well, diving in all the time. But that was the way the fight went, Jim. You know, they'd probably be old pals when they, I don't know, it depends. The loser might not like this, if there is a loser.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Caesar Palace, we go to the scorecards. Chuck Jampa scores the bout, 114. 114, he has it even.
Oh dear, an even one right away. I don't like the sound
Sharman
of this.
scores the bout, 115 to 114. Jerry Roth scores it, 115 to 113 for the winner by majority decision. And once again, heavyweight champion of the world from Atlanta, Georgia.
So there it is, Evander Holyfield has won it. Well, there it is, the underdog, Jim, 5-1 against. A real close call fight, that one. I thought, like you did, that maybe Bowe would get it. Barry McGuigan had Holyfield in front at a couple of rounds at one stage there. And let's put it this way, Jim, he probably just deserved it, didn't he?
You can't argue in a fight like that, when it was one punch for one punch, you couldn't argue with that.
But most of all, you saw a great heavyweight battle. Let's hit it for both.
Well, there we are then. Floyd Patterson, Muhammad Ali, and now Evander Holyfield, the only three men in history to regain the world heavyweight title.